Why are you looking like that? Well, good evening, Black and Married with Kids. This is Dunamis D, Pastor D, on Takeover Tuesday. I'm so glad to be with you. I'm so glad to be with you. I am the founder of Dunamis Woman Enterprise, and you all see I have my little mini me here.
Hey, y'all.
She is the co-owner. She works with me. She's a thorn in my side, but however, we are a dynamic duo.
We are. They should know me.
Duo.
I was the original one that came on Black and Married with Kids and did the takeovers. You know, if y'all remember me, say I remember you, Ari. It's been a long time, but I'm so glad to be back for Takeover Tuesday. For how to enhance a woman's confidence.
No. Don't come in here now messing up. All right, because we have been on a movement, you all. Am I right?
Yes,
women?
let me correct that.
Yes.
How to enhance the woman's
and
confidence.
The woman, it means what? Now, you all make sure she get it right now. The woman means you're not just a woman in general. When you were chosen, not only by God, but the man in your life, you came out of the category of being general. You are specifically the woman who has been assigned and for the job that God has given you to bring forth your life and your legacy, and nobody else can do it but you. That's what the woman is, all right? So I'm excited about tonight because we got some real dialogue for you all, some dunamis dialogue, some real talk about this conversation. And she's coming in because I know she want to drill me and ask me 50 questions, but I promise you it's going to bless your life. But in the meantime, Ariel, just give a shout out to Lamar and Ronnie for allowing us to have this opportunity.
Hey, Lamar. Hey, Ronnie.
Yes.
No, I want to give a shout out to Lamar and Ronnie for giving us this platform so that we can continue to share our message and empower the wives, the women, the single women that are on this platform, and the men too, if you guys are watching this. So hi, ladies that are watching or commenting. Definitely chat below and tell us what city or state you're coming from.
Yes.
Because we definitely want to know where you guys are coming from, and we definitely have some free giveaways for you guys. So once again, thank you, Ronnie and Lamar, for allowing us to be on this platform tonight as well. And I'm really actually passionate about this topic because I had to learn how to build my confidence as the woman and not just any woman or a woman. And it is definitely a difficult journey. It was one that was hard, but once it was accomplished, now I'm very confident in my substance as the woman and not just my outward or my external or anything else that a woman has, you know.
Yes.
It's definitely important for any woman, whether you are single, I'm not married, never have been married, to understand how to enhance your confidence as the woman. So I'm really interested to hear the talk that you're going to have tonight. Hey, you guys from Texas and Georgia and Illinois. Thank you guys for tuning in. But I know you wanted me to be able to read this quote about the womb of a woman.
Correct.
And I don't know how you're going to relate this to the woman. However, I'm going to read it. All right. So in here it says
no, you got to tell them where you're reading from, because that's the book, How to Pray with Power and
Purpose. This is the free giveaway that we're giving to you guys, and you don't have to wait till the live is over to take action for it. Well, actually you do, because then you're going to exit out of this live. So wait till it's over.
Yes.
So you get all the content. But
hey, Nikki from Buford. Hey,
Kamu, I'm going to tell you the things that I did to enhance my confidence as the woman. But this is the free giveaway that we're giving to you guys. Her free How to Pray with Power on Purpose book, written by my mama D Collins. This book is a power tool, and it's a mini power tool, but there is so much power packed behind this book. And so I'm going to read you guys a quote, and Kamu, who asked the question, this is how one of the original ways that I start to enhance my confidence as the woman. But it says, every woman created has a womb.
Yes.
We were made to give birth to great men and women, kings and queens, like unto ourselves. So I want to elaborate on this, or have you elaborate on this a little bit more, about the womb of a woman and how it is created to give birth to great men, women, kings, and queens, because any women don't think like this.
No. So now you can put it down. Huh? Right. You are a prime example, Ariel, because literally you have not birthed any children as of yet.
Right.
But you still have a womb. Okay. And so even by you, we working together and you always up under me, you always questioning me, you actually receiving some free coaching. Now I'm gonna tell you that right now, but I'm gonna give you your invoice a little bit later on. However, it's preparing you to build up your confidence, first of all, to know who you are. Because just as though we have birthed naturally, we got to know who we are and be confident in order to birth spiritually.
Right.
So we have been given this womb as a reproductive system because what we believe and who we are and how we see things is how we're going to literally birth that. It's not a literally getting on the table and birthing like you birth your kids. It's in your stance. It's in your walk. It's in who you are, believing and knowing that I have the equipment. I have the reproductive system. I have it. And you go through those stages of development with confidence. So as the book said, we can birth men and women, kings and queens. So let me just say this to you. We were all born, and this is really going to be powerful, particularly as Black married with kids. We were born male and female. When God created us, he created us male and female. So the question is, why do we say, oh, I had a boy, oh, I had a girl? Where did the girl and boy terminology come from? I'm asking you. Don't be
society, the world.
It puts us in a position to automatically think less than ourselves.
Belittle, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So when you birth that child, or even when you were birthed, on that birth certificate, it says male or female. It didn't say girl or boy. But even when we were placed in slavery, a place to belittle us, make us think less than ourselves. Boy, girl, boy. You know what I'm saying? When they talked to us, the boys had their head down. You see what I'm saying? The girls could not look you in the face. You see what I'm saying? That's why it even goes back to when you were gave your speech at your pageantry. When does a girl become a woman? And your answer was when you could look a woman directly in her face, in her eyes, with confidence. You see what I'm saying? No intimidation, no jealousy, no competition. You see what I'm saying? Because when we think less than ourselves, we go back to that little girl.
Right.
And that little girl is not confident. The little girl is not who you really are. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But when we have been arrested in life and challenges have come and we have experienced all kind of things, particularly as a Black woman, many of us have experienced some things that we were never supposed to experience. And then we get married and we're taking this lack of confidence and we're taking these self-esteem issues. We're taking the pains of our past. We're taking the pains of what we experienced due to so many other life challenges, and it comes to inhibit us. So when I am knowing my womb, I'm allowing myself to go through various stages as opposed to going backwards. I'm progressing forward. So I am a female, and that female had to learn some things, but that female went through life and she developed as woman.
Right.
And then the woman, because of her confidence, and she continues to develop internally, and that reproductive system is working spiritually, just as though it's working naturally. Now you're transitioning into where you are able to hold and fulfill the position as the wife.
Yeah. And when you, and just to piggyback off of what you're saying and to go back to the question, and thank you, hi everyone who just tuned in and watching, as we're talking about how to enhance the woman's confidence part 2. Once again, we are Dee and Ariel, the mother-daughter duo behind Dunamis Women Enterprise, where we guide women of faith on how to, we guide women of faith through spiritual mentorship, prayer, and coaching so that they can experience healing to transform their life and relationships. So we thank you guys for watching this, and we thank Ronnie and Lamar for having us on here. And yes, Derek, knowledge is power.
And Derek made a statement up there. I couldn't read it anymore, but I'm going to go back to it, and I'm going to reply to that, Derek, because he was saying about nurturing something or whatever, but go ahead.
Yeah, and drop your comments of where you're from and the city and state, because we are watching it, and we'll answer some questions. But I wanted to go back to what you said when Kamu had asked, how do you begin? And so and even when I was writing in my book of talking about becoming a woman, healing of the little girl had to take place first. And so that I had to learn how to heal from the things that took place as that little girl, as that person who was growing. But I didn't just start off in the world as a female developing in the woman. The world creates in our mind, like you said, even back from slavery, a little girl or a little boy. So those things of lack of confidence, looking down, not being assured of who I am, not knowing who I am, manipulation, all these different things, the hurt, the victim mentality that even comes from slavery. Why me? Why do I have this life? Why are things happening to me? And I didn't only, now that happened when I was a little girl, but that carried on to my adult years. And so even starting to enhance my confidence as the woman, I had to heal from who this little girl actually really was and the pain that was caused from that little girl mentality. And so for me, because as a little girl, you don't even comprehend in your mind that you have a womb.
No, you don't.
As a child, you don't even, that doesn't even fathom to you. You don't even think about period and menstruation and anything like that. And, I'll talk about health, but that doesn't fathom to you that I had the ability to birth something.
And many of us even when we as young women and females, when we started our menstrual cycle, particularly in our Black community, many of us was able to sit down and our mothers talk to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even I would just say from my own story, my own self, I remember when I told my mother that my menstrual cycle came out, she just looked at me. You know what I'm saying? Never talked to me, never told me what it's about, but yet the fear of, okay, now she can get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So now she started watching and gardening and fussing and complaining, which diminished my self-esteem.
Right.
I needed the nurture. I needed the guidance. The very thing that we're doing in Dunamis Woman spiritually, I needed that naturally at that time. And that does hinder our progression spiritually to not only have a relationship with God, but also to have that relationship with the man that God has placed in our life, because man was made like unto God. He is God with the little g, but he got to understand his relationship with God with the big G. Right. You understand what I'm saying? He's just that powerful. So now we feel inferior. We feel inhibited. We feel all these issues that we bring into our marriage, and then we blame them. And we really got to start looking at ourselves.
Right.
Because they came from the womb of a woman. There is no man and there is no woman who was birthed in this earth unless he or she came through the womb of a woman. So that mother is a woman, and if her self-esteem was shot, then he's going to be lacking some things. He's going to have some issues. So he needs that confident wife. He needs that wife, not the mother. He needs the wife to build him up and to love literally the hell out of him, because she's confident that she was assigned to be able to bring restoration to his true self and his identity.
And you can't do that as a little girl.
You can't do that as a little girl.
You can't do that as a little girl.
No, because a little girl, when you don't get what you want, you hold tantrums. The little girl, when you don't get what you want, you go somewhere in a quiet place and don't want to talk about it. The little girl withholds sex. Okay? No, you ain't getting none tonight. My feelings is hurt. See, that's the little girl. You see what I'm saying? And that's why spiritual coaching, spiritual mentorship, spiritual prayer with this book that we're giving away, you might not be able to say, ooh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but it's a guide. You see what I'm saying? The book was written as a guide and a power tool to help build your confidence. And because we know that this is needed so desperately for the woman who has the man, and you all are powerful, you all are kings and queens. You just got to get to that stage where the queen knows who she is, not because of her hips, not because of her look, not because of this, because she's very, very stern on the inside, and she's not going to let nobody tell her differently about her king.
Right.
I don't care how he act. I don't care what he look like. She believes because he is the king. He is the king, one of the kings of the king.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's why, with the book being given for free, we want to build you up. We want to invest in you. And
I definitely I see you guys' comments, especially Derek, of staying connected, and how he was talking about, trying to, build his wife up through this process. And then someone else had comment, maybe she wasn't taught, so therefore she doesn't know. And this is exactly why we do what we do here at Dunamis Woman, because we can't no longer even if we weren't taught, you know what I mean? There still is time to develop into the woman. This has no age limit to it.
No.
And that's the thing in the world. We like to say, oh, because you're 18 or you're 19, that you're now a woman, or that you
had 2 kids, or you had 3 kids.
This journey is forever going until you are in your grave. And so, so this is why it's so important. And yeah, Camus, like you said, this is why I am on hold until I discover the woman. And this is so important because most men, and even if you are married, and I'm not married, but most men go into the standpoint of not knowing the difference between a woman and the woman. So sometimes they end up, and that doesn't mean that when you get married to someone who is a woman cannot be developed into the woman after the marriage, but you start to see some of the residue or some of the things that haven't been developed because she did not know. And so it's so important that when you start identifying these things, even for me as single, I have to differentiate a man versus the man. There's many men that want to say, oh, you are, you know, you want to be my husband, or I want to be your husband. And I have to tell someone, I am a wife. I have the wife qualities. I know I am confident in being the woman, but that does not mean that I am a wife for any man that comes. But I have to know who is the man that God is going to send in my life to accompany me as the woman.
Yeah, and you know that because of what you have, the work that you have done internally. Right. And you can't just give that away. You can't just give it. As a matter of fact, you will hear it in their speech and you will understand it because they will begin to communicate based upon who you are and not just what you have or how you look, you know. And I really want to encourage Derek and any other man that is, I encourage men. Now, this book is Dunamis Woman, How to Pray with Power and Purpose. But do you know what? Men have read this book, and I admonish men to read the book when you want to get the woman for your life. Why? Because you will be able to hear her speech. You will be able to hear her confidence. You know, when you see, because men are visual. And so you all can easily get caught up in the visualization of the hips and the charm and all those other things. But when you hear her confidence and she's speaking these things and her prayer life is not because she just said, oh, I'm in prayer this morning. Her life is prayer. Her walk is prayer because it's how she communicates and how she builds you up and how she thinks of not only just you as a man, but the man and men in general. You understand what I'm saying? And so you want to hear the wholeness. You want to hear, you know, you ain't got to ask a whole lot of questions because I meet men right now and just from doing what I'm doing and the work that I'm doing. And I have to let them know, Ariel, particularly when they are not married and when they're single, I'm not your wife. You know what I'm saying? I can't be everybody's wife. You know what I mean? But I do know who I am because they want that talk. I have to be very cognizant of what I say because I do believe in men. I am building them up because it's who I am as the confident woman. So they could easily get attracted to me.
Right.
Not because of how I look. They easily get attracted because they're lacking that in our community.
So Derek said, so do I take my hands off and allow her to grow, or do I help? And what's your, you know, advice as it relates to that?
You can't help her, Derek, but you can affirm her.
Right.
Affirm her. She needs that assurance. And then sometimes you're going to have to step back and allow her just to go through her own little processes. But in spite of all of that, keep loving her. Keep loving her. Keep loving her. Keep affirming her. Show her affection.
I'm reminded, even when you say that, of the Tyler Perry movie. What was it? It was Medea, not Why Did I Get Married, but the one where she was Byron.
Oh yeah.
And remember the in the movie, and if y'all know the movie, drop it below because I can't remember. But in the movie where one of the daughters had the son at 12, or I think it was at 12 years old, because she was raped by the uncle.
Yes.
And remember, he found out that was really his mother, but she was bitter.
Yeah.
And she was hurt.
Yes.
And she was, you know, upset. And her husband kept trying to love her and love her and love her. And even at the end, you know, Medea she admitted, she said, you was raped by your uncle and that's how you conceived him, and you need to learn how to heal and let that man love you through your process. See, that was the little girl
Yes.
who as an adult couldn't let go of what happened to her when she was 12 years old. She couldn't forgive her mother for the things that have taken place in her life. And y'all, even though this is a movie, this happens every single day. And as an adult and as a successful woman and as a beautiful woman, she got married to a man who wanted to continue to love and nurture her. But it wasn't until that moment that she had to come into agreement that this little girl and me needs to be healed. And the instructions were go up there and have a conversation with your husband and let him love you.
Yes.
But that moment had to happen for her. And so
and she was afraid of love.
And she was afraid of love.
She was afraid
but yet
of
she got married, but she was afraid. But the beautiful thing that I loved is that the husband kept loving her despite the backlash or the irritation that she had as a little girl, because she couldn't accept love because a man destroyed that for her when she was a little girl.
Yes.
And so
and he did not. One thing I love about it, and I want to say this just with that for you all, because from a coaching perspective, I see a lot of men, black men, and I coach those. They have been emasculated in previous relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they attract this beautiful woman, and then you all become depleted. Then you all become that. But he did not even. He was getting tired, but he never gave up. You know, he wasn't becoming weary, and he wasn't going out there and chasing some more skirts and justifying it or whatever. He was coming weary, but he still stood. And when he was standing, then people were able to intercede on his behalf as he was standing to love her.
Right.
And it's sad though, because in our society today, that is such a good analogy, Ariel, because you know, that little girl was stuck at 12 years old, but she was still beautiful. She had her own career.
Right.
She had her own means. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And see, those are the things that cause you to mask and to cloud the very, very judgment of what you're doing. And she could not even appreciate him. But this is why we're here. And so you all know that you are the woman, and no matter what it takes, men, women, get it. Get your confidence that you are the man for that assignment. Men, you are assigned too. You have that ability to love the hell out of her, and you can pray on purpose too. You know what I'm saying? You can pray on purpose, you know, because there's so many out there.
And we have the womb and they have the seed.
Yes.
And they have the ability to sow that seed through prayer. And that woman, when her womb is ready to conceive, and when her womb is ready to be opened up to even receive the seed that you have sowed into God in your quiet time, into your prayer, then she will begin to transform. And so you have that ability to go to God and to believe God for the wife that He has given you, the woman that you chose. Because when you saw her as fit for your wife, you saw her as the woman. Yet, even if she was not there yet, you still saw her as the woman that you chose for your life, for the rest of your life.
And one thing that we fail to realize, and I'm really talking from a spiritual perspective, so please hear me, from a spiritual life, leadership, and relationship coach, you all as the man, okay, you all were assigned to really love the hell out of her. You know, and we need you all. We need you to believe. 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 And it can be rough sometimes. It can be a little weary sometimes. But you are the man for the job. And from a spiritual perspective, you all are our Savior. Just like He is our Savior with the big S, you all are our Savior. I got residue. I got some things in me. And the man for my life, He is the one who's going to save me and clean up this residue as He loved the hell out of me. And it's going to make me a little bit more effective every day, every day, every day. Because it's not about just intimacy from a sexual standpoint. It's an intimacy that He could see in me. Okay, and the man has the ability to see in his woman, in the woman have the ability to hear the heart of the man, even when he's not speaking. Hear the heart of the man, and your confidence, when you build that up and know who you are, and that's enhanced, it will make you more and more and more in tune with what the man's heart is saying. You all know men don't communicate as much as we want them to, but the woman has the ability to hear when he ain't saying a word. The woman has the ability to hear when he's snoring, honey. You can hear his heart. And when you hear his heart, that's where your travail comes in. That's where your prayer with power on purpose. Ariel, tell them one more time how they can get the book, because I want to ship that out to you. And men, you can get it too. I'll ship it out to you. Put it on the nightstand.
Yes. You can go to bit.ly/my free prayer book. Go there, get your free prayer book. Yes. It is right there waiting for you to get access. And go to that link. We definitely want you all to be there. And so for what I want to say for the ones that are watching. I know I said how to enhance the woman's confidence. First, I started off having to heal the little girl, and there's many other steps that come after
most
that.
Definitely.
Other steps that come after that, but it's not an overnight process. And so I want to just encourage any woman that's out there, regardless of your age, regardless of, married or not married, even men, it takes time. It takes time to be assured in that. And you will start experiencing some level of rejection, especially if you are single. Because as you're building your confidence as the woman, as the man, you are going to not be for a woman or any man. And so rejection is going to come your way, but you cannot let the rejection make you question who you actually are in the process and the journey that you are taking as the woman and as the man. Because, I even when I say in my book, the woman we're talking about and the man that we're talking about comes a dime and a dozen. It's not many out there.
Right.
Let's just say that. And I'm not saying that to be cocky.
No.
It's just not.
Well, every woman doesn't come out the womb as a dunamis woman.
Exactly.
She has to develop. She has to become that. And only you can come that through the art of submission. Not only submission to the Lord with the large L, but submission to the Lord with the small L. The woman sees the man as her Lord. Now, that's a whole nother Takeover Tuesday. That's a whole nother time. And Ariel, if you remind me, I will go in there and I will come a little bit more deeper with that the next time. And I also want to leave on this note, because you had said something about you are going to get rejection, and that's true. But you know what I've always taught about rejection, and I teach about rejection. What is it, Ariel?
Rejection is
preservation. Come on now. So those of you all who are waiting, when you get rejected, know that the Lord is preserving you. He's preserving you for the woman, and he's preserving you for the man. Any man and any woman is not for the one who knows who she and he is. All right. Well, I thank you once again for Takeover Tuesday.
Yes, thank you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Please share this with anyone that you know who want to see it.
Yes, share
and
it.
Definitely go get that book. So once again, thank you, Ronnie and Lamar, for having us on this platform.
Yes.
I'm Ari. This is Dee.
I am Pastor Dee.
Yes.
Right here, Dunamis Woman Enterprise. And we're this tonight, dynamic duo, mother and daughter.
All right. So have a good rest of you all's night, and we'll talk to you all later.
All right.